We initially alerted our clients about the crash of a commercial airliner near Aktau in Kazakhstan, and we said that an investigation was ongoing. Once we started to see images of the fuselage and the damage to the vertical and horizontal stabilizer, as well as video from inside of the fuselage taken by passengers, we started to do some more research. What we found was that over the North Caucasus Federal District of Russia, where Chechnya is located, on the morning of 25 December, Russian air defenses were defending against Ukrainian military-grade weaponized drone attack. And so while this aircraft was attempting to land at Grozny, there was Russian air defense activity going on in that area of Chechnya. And so when you combine the air defense activity with the presence of the aircraft and the type of damage that's also observed on the aircraft's tail section and fuselage, as well as inside of the aircraft, it paints a pretty clear picture that this was not a bird strike or weather-related disruption, as was first announced by two separate Russian aviation authorities.
Let's dive into this a little bit deeper. You mentioned you and the team looked at images. I want to show our viewers the footage showing large holes in the plane's tail. What does that tell you? Was this damage from missile shrapnel or munitions? Can you?
So that
yes,
is the first thing that both myself and our senior analyst at Osprey Flight Solutions, when we saw these pictures, we saw this as a frag pattern from a proximity fuse on a surface-to-air missile warhead. We both spent over 8+ years in the U.S. Air Force as intelligence analysts. In the past, we now work in the private sector, providing risk assessment services and risk intelligence to airlines, insurers, and governments. And this is a classic case of misidentification. It's the third time that something like this has happened in this part of the region, and the fourth time overall globally since 2001. And when you look at the type of damage, you look at the fact that there was known air defense activity going on in the same place. And then now we have the Ukrainians who have said officially that Russia is responsible for this. Reuters has quoted Azeri officials saying that Russia is responsible for a misidentification via a surface-to-air missile. Euro News is saying the same thing through its sources, and then local media outlets in Azerbaijan are also quoting Azeri sources. So the evidence just continues to mount behind the scenes. Essentially, what we're waiting now is for a public announcement from a government that would confirm this, though that may take a long time. Accident investigations do not take place overnight. They're not open and shut. To reference back to a separate aircraft crash, there was an aircraft that was on its way to Egypt that crashed about a decade ago, and it took the Egyptian authorities years and years to finally close the accident investigation. And their findings are different from what the French findings were on that event. And so there can be disagreements over these types of scenarios. And so while it may take governments and regulators extended periods of time to sort this out, Osprey has an obligation to its clients that continue to fly to airports in Russia, some of them, but many that fly in the region. If you look at this corridor just south of the Black Sea that crosses Georgia and Azerbaijan, this is a very busy airway because airlines are avoiding Syria, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. So this is a very busy corridor between Kazakhstan, across to Azerbaijan, Georgia, and then to the Black Sea. And Grozny is not that far from this, and neither are other parts of southwest Russia. And so spillover concern is another issue that we're monitoring very closely for all of the Ukraine conflict, not just on Ukrainian borders, but now inside Russian territory and near other borders where civil air traffic is going on, not over Russia per se, but along the periphery.
Matt, if it's confirmed that Russia is responsible, do you see them owning up to this?
I would see a similar type scenario that was conducted around MH17. Russia conducted its own investigation. It said that a Ukrainian fighter jet was responsible for the shootdown of MH17. They will obfuscate. They will look for ways to highlight different theories, as they already have. We had a bird strike. We had weather disruption. We've had reports that an oxygen canister on the inside of the aircraft could have exploded. we might get some claims that a Ukrainian drone collided with the aircraft. Everything will be thrown at the wall. Different theories will be put out. And so I think the onus now is on Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan, who are not parties to the Ukraine conflict, but are parties to this accident, to take the lead in identifying what happened and providing the world with the facts. And hopefully the International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO, the UN body for aviation, will also be able to shed light on this terrible tragedy.
Matt, I'm running out of time. If you can answer this in about 20 seconds or so, sorry to rush, but I have to ask, if, again, Russia is responsible, do they face any repercussions here?
They could face repercussions if a lawsuit were brought by the families. But again, Iran was faced with similar situation after PS 752. It is very difficult in different jurisdictions to get a legal case. They're already under sanctions on their aerospace and military sectors. So while more of those types of sanctions could be put in place, the consequences for Russia will be difficult to hand down under this current circumstance.
We really appreciate the insight and context, Matt Borie. We appreciate your time, sir. Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.